So I'm just about to continue on this so-called monster painting. She's not a monster, she's a fabulous Austrian actress. And in a portrait like that, of course, it's very important to have to achieve a great likeness. You can use grids, but I find grids very tedious to set up, and then you cover it all up, you don't see it anymore, or the other problem, you have to somehow get rid of it later. And it really prevents you from those loose brush strokes and from that energetic beginning that I find is very important to achieve a good portrait in the end. So I want to start with that looseness, but then of course I need to get from this likeness to a really great likeness. And I have a trick for that I want to share with you. So you take a photo of the portrait that you have painted so far and bring it into an app that can do layers. This can be Adobe Photoshop, it can be Procreate, what I'm using here, and there are lots of free apps that do layers. So on the other layer, I have the photograph, and I've lowered the opacity of the photograph, and I'm now lining it up as good as I can with the portrait I've painted so far. This takes a lot of tweaking. Sometimes you think you're really, really far off, and it only takes a little bit of making it smaller or tilting it or just adjusting it so that they're actually lined up not as bad as you might have thought in the beginning. Now on yet another layer, you trace from the photo, you trace the most important lines in the face, right? So you choose yourself how precise you want to go. I usually take it not that precisely because I keep wanting to have that looseness in my portrait. And here comes the magic. You turn off the layer with the photograph and you see where the lines are now off from the portrait you have painted so far. I've done this for this video. I don't usually do this. Now on yet another layer in a different color, I make marks of which ones are the most obvious mistakes or just where I was off most. I didn't really get the tilt of the head right. I was a little bit off on that, and the eyebrows. I'm somehow always off with eyebrows in portraits. But knowing that, maybe I can fix it. And so that's what I do. And then I really paint from this as my source. Now, of course, you can repeat this process with maybe the second layer of your portrait. This will not be a technique where you get photorealism. I think you would choose a different method for that. But to achieve a good likeness or to find out where you're off. My likeness was actually already pretty good from what I've been told. Everybody knows this actress here in Austria. But I'm going to go in and just tweak it a little bit here and there while I'm doing my last layer anyway. If you're interested in seeing the whole portrait and how it turns out, I'm going to do a time-lapse video of that and post it very soon.